But this is FSG, boys. This is FSG. Speaking of which as well, I just wanted to have a conversation because I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and I know this has been a proper recurring topic on this show. I mentioned a few weeks ago, like the possibility of the reason why like fans are slightly hypocritical, specifically on Nunez, is based on the premise that nobody would have wanted Timo Werner after seeing his first few games at Chelsea, and now you're seeing Nunez basically being the Uruguayan version. Like it's just you know. We've got to have a conversation that is he good enough to be a part of the best front three yet right now because we've got barely any options. But I think when everyone's available, you think he's definitely 100%. A part of the best front three?
For me, he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a timing thing. As soon as he refines that finishing, he will score, or he is capable of scoring between 30 to 50 goals a season. I genuinely do believe that. It's just about giving him that extra bit of support at the minute to get him through this confidence shot period. But, bro, if that goal went in last night that was cleared off the line, I'm guaranteeing he gets 2 or 3 last night. It's just a confidence thing. And once he does, like Salah in his first season, refine that down. Salah still scored a lot of goals, but in the first half of his first season, he still needed 4 chances to score 1. Nunez, on average, is hitting 6 shots per game, which is the most of any striker in the league. He's also missed the most big chances in the league with 16. He has 6 shots per game. Let's say of those 6 shots, 3 go on target. And this is the bare minimum, by the way, I'm saying. If you're having 6 shots, you should be getting 5 or 6 on target. Let's say 3 go on target. And let's say out of those 3, 2 are goals. I think it's just a matter of time before we hit the dynamite of him and he explodes into a fucking goal machine. But right now, it's stinking a little bit. I'm not going to hide it. It is stinking a little bit. Last night, gets a yellow card as well, which I didn't like, showing a little bit of petulance again, as we've seen last time. But he's getting into the positions, he causes chaos, and it's a stick with him thing. Just keep him up front. You can play him on the left as well, but stick him in the team because it looks like our other out-and-out number 9, after we were convinced that he'd be staying, and Klopp said it as well, looks like Bobby could be off to the Qatar lads. Did you see the tweet?
Yeah, I saw it.
The tweet from the Qatari guy?
I did see it.
It looks like he's going to go, though.
True.
Which is gutting.
I want to respond to what you just said about Nunez, because one thing I'll even admit is that I don't really give people the chance to fully disclose their points on Nunez. So I did want to give the opportunity to actually shut the fuck up for once. But the point is that I completely get what you're saying about how he can be at least an option, or he can be a part of the first team, I suppose. Sure. The only thing I see is if I wanted a striker who could do everything but score goals, I would have called Bobby Firmino.
But even he scores goals.
He scores goals, but not the goals that we were always looking for in a number 9, which we've been searching for years. And that's why we were going to end up buying Timo Werner, so we could cause chaos. That's why he was so close. And then something happened to where it didn't. And then we were all there buzzing about Jota. You know, the thing about Nunez is just very plain and simple, is that, the way people say, he doesn't speak English and whatever. I'm so sorry, but being able to say hello and goodbye opposed to hola and adios does not translate to good finishing. And it does not translate to efficient finishing. And for the chances that we need in the Premier League, I don't think he's the man to take us on to Premier League titles and Champions League titles. Can he be a man who comes off the bench and offer a different option? For sure. For sure. The same way that Werner ended up on the bench at Chelsea, the same way that Origi was always on the bench at us, I think he can be an option there. But I think the price tag has massively inflated people's expectations on Nunez in the current moment. And I think if we do persist with the idea that he's going to be good enough for the first 11, that's where our downfall is going to come.
Someone's just said Nunez is a spicy Voronin. Through Don in the comments.
This is everything. I don't understand one thing, especially Liverpool supporters who is watching the games. When you watch the games of Liverpool and you can see the hard work from Darwin Nunez, he runs for every single minute in 90 minutes. He never stops to run.
I didn't want to spend 85 million on a marathon runner.
Okay, no, this is different. He runs, he helps the team. He never give up. He that assists for Salah against
someone
Leicester.
Who never gave up, I'd have bought John Cena.
Listen, bro, that assist for Mohamed Salah against Leicester between 6 defenders, it's a fucking belter. And he missed Mohamed Salah. I think at the moment, the only one thing who Darwin Nunez needs is just scoring goals, which is probably the most simple thing in the football, or the most difficult, depends of which point of view you're saying the stuff. So he needs to be, needs that kind of confidence. At the moment, he needs that kind of confidence. But he's doing everything right. For example, yesterday I've noticed in Bulgarian and the Italian, like TikTok and stuff like that, bullshits. And they just, they make a picture of the moment he was shooting on the nets in the first 10 minutes, that occasion he missed. And you can see that the net was like empty from that picture, and people saying, "Oh, he missed another goal. He's a butcher." Exactly. This is completely unfair.
Lewandowski would have scored that,
and this is absolutely.
But there
bullshit.
was a player sliding in that cleared it off the line that wasn't even in that picture.
Exactly.
Which suits a kind of narrative. It's all about.
I hate when people talking without watching the games. When you watch the game, you can't not appreciate what Darwin Nunez is doing for Liverpool at the moment. He needs just time. It's matter of
he's good enough for a team that's competing for top 6. He's good enough for that. He's not good enough for, like, when we were playing at our best a couple of years ago, Nunez doesn't get close to that team, besides bench.
Big up to NRL with the super chat. 35 million invested into 4.5 years in the midfield, and Decas free at the end of the season. Get him in. Centre back and 3 midfielders. No top 4 if we don't get midfielders in January. It's just, this is a nice therapy session, isn't it? We're all unleashing our worries and doubts.
Do you want me to tell you why it's not as much for me? Because I believe that statements like what you guys make, and I love you both use, you like me brothers. But from a footballing point of view, I do feel like a lot of your point of views, especially on players like Nunez, is what's going to hinder the success of this football club. I think accepting those standards, accepting a player who misses 15 out of 19 big chances is ludicrous to me, especially for a team that's had Robbie Fowler, Luis Suarez, Michael Owen, and these are players who couldn't even win us trophies. Like, fuck me, imagine Nunez in a team that we needed the perfect team. We needed Virgil. We needed all the transfers to work out at once. We needed Virgil to work out, Fabinho to work out, Van Dijk to work out, and thankfully we built a fucking Salah to work out, and we built a ruthless spine and a ruthless base around that spine to where we were unbeatable. Every player in every pitch had such a significant role. Nunez's significant role only comes now purely off of the premise that he causes chaos and he's just putting in more effort than everyone else. So I'll give you that, Mario. He's doing more than everyone else, but everyone else is nowhere near the standards. All my argument is right now, while we've got injuries, yet Nunez is sound. But the idea that he's going to be starting for us in the future is where we will not compete for league titles.
You think that he's not going to score in the future? What's your feeling about him in the future?
I don't think he's good enough for Liverpool in the future. You can score 20 goals a season all you want, but that doesn't mean you improve the all-round team. Manchester United finished 2nd before they bought Ronaldo. Ronaldo comes in, he scores 20 goals or something, but they finish 6th. It doesn't improve the all-round premise of the team, and I think Nunez has a very, very similar impact. I think we were always better without an out-and-out number 9. I think he's just doing the role that Salah was, but he's just not as good as he.
I think at the moment, Nunez is the last of the Liverpool problems, to be honest. We had like more big problems, more main
I'm just saying he shouldn't be starting, because if we start to get better again, he's not the man to take us there. While we're competing for 6th, he's good enough.
And who's going to play now? We've got just Nunez and Salah.
When Jota and that gets back, I hope they're playing over Nunez.
They're going to rotate.
I'd love a front 3 right now of either Bobby, Gakpo, Diaz, and then Nunez to maybe come off the bench, because I still don't mind Nunez being a part of the squad and being an option, but starting, mate, I hate the way he gets the majority of our big chances, because he's just got nothing about him.
People, I saw just one comment of one guy, I don't remember the name. He said that they are professional footballers and they are paying for run 90 minutes. Yeah, I agree with this, but the way he's running and he wants to give his best to Liverpool is something that we need to appreciate at the moment for Nunez, which is he needs just the confidence to score. And I'm pretty sure, man, I say this thing about like 100 times. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a Liverpool superstar in the future. He's going to score 30, 40, 50 goals. I don't know why people don't believe that. Absolutely.
People in the comments will call us deluded. But when he starts banging in the goals, just remember, speaking of Nunez, another Nunez that we were in for in the summer that Wolves actually got. Have you heard this, Jay?
Mateus Nunes.
I don't want him.
We're looking at paying more now for him than we were in the summer. It hasn't really worked out for him at Wolves. Again, it stinks of desperation, man. Like, obviously we need midfielders. Obviously we all know we want Jude. Obviously it looks like Chelsea are getting Enzo. So Amrabat's still there. I'm not totally convinced on him. We had a big debate on him, didn't we, on the last episode in the studio. I just can't really see how we're going to, buy a midfielder in this window, but I can't see Liverpool going out and buying 3 in a row in the summer transfer window. And Mateus Nunes, who is now at Wolves, if we were going to buy him, don't wait for him to go to Wolves and then be rubbish and then buy him for even more than you were going to buy him for in the summer.
Exactly.
How's Nunez's legs? Is his legs good?
I saw him crying with an injury for Wolves the other day. Like, actually, not just taking the mick, but actually crying on the pitch. So I haven't seen much of him. There's Caicedo as well that people are saying in the comments.
Like him.
The thing is, though, like,
70 million.
If we get him,
he won't be 70.
If we get him, we're saying that he has to play in the starting 11 if we buy a midfielder, right? So is it Fabinho that we drop? Is it like who gets sacrificed?
Thiago and Elliot. Interchange. This is the point of why we need options, because Thiago's never fit. Henderson's not good enough. Elliot needs to play less games because he needs to take more time learning, opposed to trying to be the man right now. We need like Amrabat or someone who can cover the midfield and just add those extra legs.
The perfect player was Enzo Fernandez. Honestly, if you leave like the 130 million of the price Chelsea pay for him, but the perfect player.
Wait, is he going to Chelsea now?
For the it's not 100% official.
Oh, okay.
If there's any club
that kind of player at the moment, we miss that kind of player at the moment with our midfield.
Enzo Fernandez would be out of all the options we've been linked with, Bellingham, Amrabat, and Enzo. Listen to me words carefully. He would have been the most important signing.
Enzo.
Really?
No,
yeah. I'm not saying he's better than Jude.
No, I agree.
I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm just saying that he would be more important right now.
That's what I'm saying.
He brings the aggression, the tackling, the passing, the ability on the ball,
filter he does,
the shithousery that those South Americans tend to bring. I think we need a bit of that.
That's true. We need that kind of player at the moment.
Yeah, I think he'd get along with Darwin as well. That's not a joke, by the way. I think he'd get along very well with Darwin. Them two would just seem to have mad energy. You know what I mean?
Big up to Yusuf in the comments. What do you make of this one, boys, for a hot topic? Naby Keita starts from now on.
Nope. Because even if he does start, he's going to be unavailable in the next 3 games.
Come on, lads.
He's not the long-term option, so why persist with him now?
It's not serious when you put Naby Keita in the start 11, man. Come on.
No, I agree.
You said on the fan cams last night, you said it's time to go.
Absolutely.
It's been time to go.
Absolutely.
It's been time to go. I said last season.
It's been 3 seasons ago.
I said last season was his last chance. Last season was his last chance for me, and he never took it.
He plays 5 seasons for Liverpool.
Mad.
5 seasons. 5, not 1, not 2, not 3.
This is actually his 6th year of being a Liverpool footballer now, because he was signed in 17 and he started in for us in 18, didn't he?
I can't believe we pay him 60 million.
Number 8 as
60 million. Number 8 straight away.
I don't even care about the number 8.
No,
hang on.
No, it's important.
We're in a catch-22 now, because
that's just marketing.
We're chatting about earning money to spend money, but we need midfielders. We need numbers for the next 5 months. So if you play Naby and then sell him, and not even sell him, let him walk away for free in the summer, I'm just struggling to see. I mean, we need midfielders to be playing, really good ones. He's an okay one. We haven't seen enough of it. And I would want him to show his quality, but why would we do that if we're going to sell him for free?
Naby?
Yeah.
Nah, facts. But again, like, this just shows to the incompetence. Like, business is more than just getting people in. How many good assets have you brought in?
Yeah.
Well, how about the previous assets that you've bought? How did you end up selling those? Or how did they work out for you? How did they add to your resources? And as far as I'm concerned, Naby Keita hindered our resources based on the fact that we spent the majority on the money on him that we could have went and spent on either someone else or 2 other midfielders. And the reason why that's another hindrance is because now you haven't got those players. You've got Naby, and he's injured every couple of games. He can't be playing, and he needs to go. And through to the lack of incompetence from the owners, there's a reason why we've still got the Oxlades, the Nabbies. And even if it is, do you know if it is Jurgen Klopp? And again, I want to remind people, Jurgen Klopp's job is to maximise the performance of the players that he's got. His role is to not sit there in the transfer room and discuss transfers. I'm sure he has an influence. And yes, he'll get involved in the discussions when he talks to the players. Like, by the way, this is the football that we're going to play. This is the role that we want you to have. But he's underneath a hierarchy. The decision makers are the ones from the top to the people that they employ. Boards, directors, etc., etc. And those are the ones who need to recognise, okay, Milner might just be finished. Naby Keita might just be too unreliable. Oxlade-Chamberlain might just be too unreliable. As good as we think they are, as big of the investments as they was, we haven't even went out and bought a backup for them.
Yeah.
In the meantime. So now we've got to go out and spend all at once. So through a big lack of incompetence at the top of business is the reason why Liverpool are in this problem right now.